This is a little bit of a fun one. I love the fourth principle of seek to bless, not impress. And I'm going to tell you kind of a funny story that may not even be that athletic. Like I mentioned, I've done comedy improv for 20 years. And if you've ever seen comedy improv, what happens is the audience gives suggestions, or you have a bunch of different games that you play, and you really have no idea what you're going to do until the audience blurts out stuff and the MC says, okay, go, and then you have to just figure it out. Well, in improv, it's interesting because you have no idea who the people you're playing with, you don't know what they're going to do either. You don't know what character they're going to take. You don't know how the scene's even going to start. You just know that it's a rodeo. Go. So the reason I love this principle, let me give you an example of seeking to bless and not impress. You come out, and in comedy improv, you kind of size each other up. And you go, okay, how about this crazy rodeo, right? And the other person starts to kind of talk, and you're feeling each other out for the first 10 to 20 seconds of that scene of where are we going to go with this, and who are you going to be, and what's your role, and who am I, and so forth. Well, what happens in comedy improv, there's what's called a setup man. Well, the setup man doesn't get the fun, sexy part of a game or scene, but they make the whole thing work. So what happens is when you both come out and you have these big, loud characters and you're trying to do punchline, 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 the whole scene really struggles because you have two people that are trying to kind of take control of the scene or take control of the game. But the best games are when somebody sizes it up and somebody comes out and some loud, funny character and everybody laughs and he realizes, oh, you've got something great here. And they quietly, just subtly turn into the setup man. And they just feed you all these incredible little setups so that this person who's got this great character, who's just in the zone, can just have funny moment after funny moment after funny moment. And everybody laughs at that person. And everybody's like, oh, and he was so funny when he was that old man and he kept falling down, blah, blah, blah. But what they don't see, but what all the performers understand, is the brilliance of the setup man. Because the setup man quietly decided, you know what, I'm gonna bless and not impress. I'm gonna let him have all of the cool moments and all of the applause. But all the performers know that the real magic behind that scene was what he was doing by making sure that the actual scene was happening and it was going somewhere and that it was productive, and just teed up all these great scenarios for this other person to just hit home run after home run after home run. And nobody knows except the performers. And I love that because oftentimes what you don't see is after the game when everyone's laughing, the other performers are sitting there talking on stage and they're saying, hey, Bob, that was brilliant. You teeing up this, teeing up this, teeing up this, so good. We all saw it, we all know it. The audience, who cares? So you can seek to bless, and then they feel like, you know what, I got you next time. I'll set you up next time. And then you get your moment. It's no different in sports. It's hard to be the setup man. You don't get the same cheers, you don't get the same applause, you don't get the same attention. But it's what makes the team work. It's what makes everybody better. And it takes somebody with the humility to say, you know what, your turn. One of my favorite quotes is C.S. Lewis, who says, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. Let me say that again. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. Golly gee shucks, I'm so bad. Look at all the self-deprecating jokes I make about myself. True humility is just thinking of yourself less. I don't even think about me. I don't even think about what I want. I'm literally consumed in just making sure everybody else is having success and taken care of. That is true humility. And that is the essence of the principle to seek to bless and not impress.